Hey guys, it's Bob Harris here. This is Quick Tips number 4. If you missed Quick Tips lesson number 1, Fingerpicking Guitar Chords for Beginners, just click right on this button right here, and that'll take you to lesson number 1. If you're ready for number 4 of this weekly series, here we go. All right, so last week we worked on the A7th chord, which is this, and we also worked on the A7 sus2 chord, which is the one-finger chord, the A7, and then we worked on the A7 sus4 chord. If for some reason you missed that lesson, just click right here and go ahead and take that lesson. It's really important that you do that lesson first before you proceed with this one. Okay, so that's Quick Tips 3. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same thing musically with a different chord. And we're going to do it with the D chord. All right, now a standard D is this. We're not going to be working on the D chord. The standard D is this, but we're going to be, of course, we were doing A7 last week, right? A7. Now we're going to do D7. And to make a D7, all you're going to be doing is shifting from the 4th and the 2nd string with your 2 fingers, with your middle finger and your ring finger. And we're just going to shift it from the 4th string to the 3rd string to the 1st string. So we had this, A7, and we're just shifting it here, okay? So why don't you just, I hope you have your guitar with you. I'm going to drive you crazy saying, I hope you have your guitar with you. A7, and we're going to shift like this, okay? Now, the problem with the D7 chord, not the problem, but the issue with the D7 is you have to use your index finger. This has to be a 3-finger chord, because in order to make this into a 7th chord on the D, we need a C note. Okay, the C note is 1 fret up on the 2nd string. So not only do you have to do this for the D chord, but you also have to press right here. 1 fret up on the 2nd string. That's your D7th chord. So if you take this D7th chord, and let me just put the chord chart up here for the D7. That's the D7, it's right here. Yep, point in the right direction. D7. If you take your ring finger off the 1st string, 2 frets up, here's your D7 sus2 chord. All right? And the only difference between the positioning of the A7 sus2 chord is A7 sus2 chord only used 1 finger. And the D7 sus2 chord just shifts from the 4th to the 3rd string, and we have to use that our index finger to play that C note. And if you strum starting from the D note down, there's your D7 sus2 chord. All right. So once again, here's our D7th chord. Okay, I'll put the chart up again for that. And you strum down. And then guess what the D7 sus4 chord is? It's the pinky right here, 3 frets up on the 1st string. Just like we did in last week's lesson with the A7 sus4. We're just shifting it down here, okay? Instead of the 4th string, it's the 3rd string. Everything shifts. And the only difference here with the chord is we have to use our index finger, our 1st finger, on the 2nd string, 1 fret up. Sounds like the Beatles, huh? You'd be surprised at how many 7th chords the Beatles used. I'm a big fan of the Beatles. That was my favorite band when I was growing up. A lot of people's, I would imagine. And they used a lot of the 7th chords, which is one of the reasons why we're learning this. Hint, hint, hint. So let's start with this. D7th. And we're strummed from this D note here down. And then then we'll go to the D7 sus2, back to D7, and then D7 sus4. Hope you have your guitar. Hope you're playing along with me. Try it. D7 sus2, D7, D7 sus4. Musically, it's identical to this if you listen here. Just listen really closely. Musically, it's the exact same thing, only in a different key. Same exact moves, only in a different key. Of course, the chord position is different for the D7th chord. I'm probably going to make another video in the middle of the week and explain a little bit about that. Okay, but for right now, let's just work on this. Okay, so those are our chords, and what I would recommend doing is just going ahead and making sure that you've got all your, your thumbs in the right place, your fingers are arched, you got your neck tilted. I'll keep going over and over that, over and over, during all of these lessons. And just go ahead and let's just try with strumming. Let's start with the D7 chord, and then the D7 sus2 chord, back to D7, and the D7 sus4 chord. You notice how I'm keeping this finger down because it's helping this finger form the chord, make it easier to press down on this chord. We're pressing with two fingers right here. So when we're playing all this stuff, we're never moving this finger right here. This finger, the second finger. We're never moving that finger. And actually, we're not even moving our ring finger on this D7, our index finger, rather. These two fingers are stationary, and the only thing that we're doing is we're doing this right here. So try that with me. We'll start with this, D7th, D7 sus2, D7, D7 sus4. Now if we had these chords and we weren't playing them, the melody would be and with the A7 that we were playing, the melody was so it's just exactly the same thing, only on a different string. And then forming the chord as well. Hope that makes sense. Let's work on the right hand now, the picking hand. And the good news is the pattern that we had from last week where we're playing 5 and 2 at the same time, and then the pattern that we've been working on here on this YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel. And then we played both of them together, the 5 and the 2 together at the beginning of the measure. Five and 2 together. We are going to do that exact pattern, and all we're going to be doing is we're just going to shift to different strings. So the basic pattern for the D chord is the pattern is identical to the A7 chord. The pattern doesn't change. We're hitting, instead of 5 and 2, we're hitting 4 and 1 together. And then the rest of the pattern that we've been learning here. Now, if you're just getting here for the first time and you're trying to digest this and you want to learn this pattern, go right over here. Okay, click on this button right here. This is going to take you to learn the pattern from the beginning, note by note, how to do it. I have a whole system there to be able to really understand it, and just watching it and trying to figure it out is just too much. So if you're just getting here for the first time and you don't know this pattern, make sure you just click on that eye over here in the corner and go to that, and that'll take you to learn this pattern. Okay, but for everybody else that knows this pattern here, 4 and 1, and then the pattern stays the same. So what am I doing? Whole thing here. Starting with the D7 chord, 4 and 1 together, then 3, 2, 4, 1, 3. And that goes for every one of these chords, all 3 of these 7th chords that we're doing. That's the same pattern. 4 and 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3. We'll go to the D7 sus2 chord, 4 and 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3. Then D7, 4 and 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3. Now we'll go to the D7 sus4 chord, 4 and 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3. So I hope that makes sense. We're doing the same thing for each chord on the right hand. So practice that, and I'm going to go real slow with this. 1, 2, 3, 4.